Hi, Lauren Brown here. I'm going to talk to you about the Integrative Fertility Symposium and why you want to come for 2019 and why there won't be a 2020, which is why you really want to come for 2019. Those that don't know me, again, I'm Lauren Brown. I'm a doctor of traditional Chinese medicine. I have a practice in Vancouver, British Columbia. It's called AcuBalance Wellness Center. You can see behind me. And I'm the founder of Healthy Seminars, previously known as Pro-D Seminars, now known as Healthy Seminars. And I'm the chair of the Integrated Fertility Symposium. So the first IFS, Integrated Fertility Symposium, was in 2015. And it was really special because it was a first. It always makes it really special. And it was meant to be a destination, which it was, a destination conference. Ray Rubio, the late Ray Rubio, my colleague and good friend, I know a lot of you know him, he had this idea of bringing everybody together for a conference where we can meet and connect. And he wanted a place for his exam, the ABRM, the American Board of Oriental Reproductive Medicine. So he approached me and asked me if I would be interested in building a conference around the ABRM exam for the date we decided on was 2015. And I agreed to it. Now, I have to tell you, I'm going to give you a little background story too, because so many people see the IFS. It's been a great success, incredible content, amazing energy there. But let me just tell you what happened that first year. So I agreed to it, and I've never put on a big conference. And I was actually quite excited to do this because years previous, I had attended many conferences. I used to exhibit at conferences and still do as Pro-D, now Healthy Seminars. And sometimes these associations that put them on at their AGM, that would be in the midday, they were complaining about poor registration, the association, poor attendance at their conferences. And I was there, and one of the people speaking pointed me out and blamed me, saying that the poor attendance in conferences is because of the online learning, which many of you know, Pro-D were one of the pioneers for that. We started that back in 2008. And I think we just needed to be more creative. I mean, that was my defense. I didn't think it was because of online. And then somebody else at another conference, I had ideas that I was helping them with, and they kept on wanting to do it their old way. And it was frustrating for me because creativity, when it flows, it wants to express. And so I was streaming stuff for them and I had ideas for them, but they kept on wanting to do it their old way. And I was like, I just got to do my own. So Ray Rubio wants to do this. So Ray wants to do it. And then I had those experiences where I couldn't let my creativity flow and they were blaming me for poor attendance. And I was thinking, they just need to do them differently. So we set out to do the 2015 conference. About 7 or 8 months out, I realized how much work this is and how much risk on a financial level, not just time, but financial. So the conference planner, Jocelyn Brown, who is my wife, she does this for a living. She's a project manager in the hospitals here in British Columbia. She was our conference planner, and she drew up the budget of the conference I wanted to do for you. Like, not what we see all the time, but the one I wanted for us. And she showed me the budget, and it was ridiculous. And I got scared and said, we can't do this. And my wife and I had this discussion that if the conference in 2015 is not successful, meaning if nobody shows up, it would be such a financial hit that we would have to move. We'd have to downsize. We'd have to sell our house because it would be such a hit. So I call up Ray Rubio and I say, Ray, I have to tell you that I'm going to bail on this IFS, not going to do it. And Ray, who's my friend, who's very stubborn, said, what are you talking about? You can't bail now. We already have our board meeting booked. We have people who have accepted registration. Like, this exam's happening in Vancouver, and you said you would do it. And my word is my bond. So later that day, Jocelyn comes up to me, Jocelyn, my wife, and she said, how did Ray take it? And I said, well, interesting you ask. We're doing the conference. And she goes, what are you talking about? You said if nobody shows up, we'll have to sell our house. And my response was, well, it's not like nobody's going to show up. And really what happened there is once I committed, because word is your bond. Once I committed, I knew how to do it. Basically, I set a date, I was committed. You just find a way to muster those resources and you get motivated to make it work. So we started researching, asking questions, figuring things out. And as you know, the first conference in 2015 sold out months in advance. And that was the very first conference. Now, I'll share with you that it was meant to be a one-off. It wasn't really meant to be, let's do this every year. It was just meant to be a one-off. So 2 weeks before the conference, my team, so the people who are involved in the conference are Jocelyn, my wife, and then my whole AccuBalance team, so the admin and all the associates, and Healthy Seminars Pro D team. So we're a small team. It's like a family business. We're not a big corporation. We're small, but big hearts. And during this process, many people, I think, wanted to quit. They were not happy about putting this conference on because of the work. It was just stressful. We had to set up systems. We didn't do this. It was never done before. Everything was unknown to us. So 2 weeks before, I have a team meeting, and I tell them that, guess what? We're doing it again next year. And they looked at me like I was nuts, because we haven't even done this conference, and we were burnt out already. And yet I'm saying we're doing it again next year. And I reasoned with them saying, look, this was really difficult. It was really stressful. It was not fun organizing it. And we sold out. And I said, now that we have the systems in place, I think next year will be easier. And I need to know if this was a fluke. Because remember that other group that said that conferences are poorly attended, and they blame me? Well, I'm the online king, right? All my list is all online, yet people came 3 months in advance. We're sold out, right? February 15th, we sold out, and the conference was on at the very end of April. So I said, I got to do it again. I got to see if we can sell it out again, and I have systems in place. It would be more fun. Anyways, 2015 was amazing. I had a blast. The delegates had a blast. And so when I went to sign on with the hotels and the location, I had to commit for 2 years. So now we're at 2016, 2017. 2016 sells it out on February 15th again. And it was even better than 2015. And you know what? It was a lot of work, but it was a lot easier. 2017 sells out February 15 again. But something crazy happens. Ray Rubio, my good friend, our colleague, keynote speaker for the IFS, is diagnosed with cancer. And he had to pull away from being the keynote speaker as well. And Ray tells me that, what's going on, and he can't be the keynote speaker. He won't know if he'd be even alive at that time. Definitely, he doesn't think he'd be well enough. This was back in December. And I go and visit him in January of 2017 to say goodbye. And we talked about, just to back up a bit on the story, when Ray called to tell me he had cancer, terminal cancer, and that he can't be the keynote speaker, he's got to pull out. A couple of hours later, because Ray loved this profession, he loved his colleagues, and he loved to teach. And I called him up a few hours after he gave me the news, and I said, no, you're my keynote speaker. I'm not taking you off the website. I'm not taking you. You are the keynote speaker for 2017. This was your dream. You're doing it. And he says, buddy, man, I can't, I'm not going to be well. I can't do this. You can't rely on me. And I said, here's the plan. You're going to be the keynote speaker. And I plan to see you there live and in person teaching this. However, if you're not well enough to travel, then we'll stream you. And I want to record you beforehand, because if you're not well enough to be streamed, then at least we can play the recording and you can be in your home watching all of us on camera as your recording plays. And in worst case scenario, if you don't make it to the conference at all, you're 6 feet under, buddy, then at least you get one more chance to address your friends, your profession. And he loved the idea to be able to do that one more time. So from that discussion until January 9th, when I went to visit him to say goodbye, I brought my camera. I didn't even bring my tripod because he was so weak. He was so sick at this time that I didn't expect him to be able to put anything together to lecture. Anyways, we're visiting, hanging out, and at some point he goes, come on, let's go. We're going to go film this thing. And I go, really? You're up for this? He goes, yeah. So we go to his office, and I'm holding the camera. So anybody who saw the keynote in 2017, it shakes a little bit. That's because I'm holding it. And something miraculous happened in front of my eyes. So without a PowerPoint, without notes, and Ray was quite weak, quite jaundiced, but during that 1 hour, he was channeling something, like his Shen was there. And I kept on doing this outside the camera because he looked well, like he didn't look jaundiced to me. And his energy was just brilliant. And his words were gorgeous. If you've watched this, and if you plan to watch this keynote, if this doesn't open up your heart, I don't know what will. If this doesn't allow you to fall in love more or again with this medicine, then I don't know what will. It's an amazing, amazing lecture talk. And so I'm holding this and trying to keep my hand steady, because I thought it'd be 5 minutes, but it ended up being a full hour. And he was amazing. And we had a big laugh at the very end of it as well. So if you watch the end of the keynote, I'll tell you at the end of this how you can get access to the keynote. So it was just beautiful. So that was 2017. And I thought we could never up the energy, because he set the tone. Like, it was gorgeous. So during the keynote, we play his recording, because Ray passes away in March before the conference. So 1 month, just about 5 weeks, 6 weeks before the actual conference, Ray passes away. And I play it, and it was third or fourth time I got to watch this keynote, and I'm getting to watch you guys. So I'm at the podium, he's playing behind me in big screen, and he's in front of my computer in front of me, because I can see what's going on behind me. And I got to watch you guys take it in. And it was one of the most beautiful things I have witnessed, besides watching the birth of my two boys, was watching Ray deliver this keynote and watching you guys take it all in. It was incredible. Not a dry eye in the house. And it was so heart moving. As I said, if it can't open up your heart, I don't know what will. So I thought we were done after 2017. I didn't think we could top it, because the tone was set and the energy was beautiful and people came. You know what happens when people come with good intention and the hearts are open? It's just a shift happens, right? So it was spectacular. However, I decided, you know what? The demand is there. We sold out 3 years in a row, February 15th. This was great. I'm going to take a risk and do it again. So in 2018, it sells out even earlier. January 24th, it sells out. So even earlier. And the speakers raised the bar. So the lectures were even better. So the energy was great. Now I told everybody I wasn't doing it in 2019. A lot of you remember I said I wasn't doing it in 2018, and I did it. And then I said, okay, I'm not doing it in 2019. And here we are doing it in 2019. Why I'm not going to do it 2020 is, every time I say yes to the IFS, I'm saying no to something else. And I have a lot of creativity. Juices are flowing. And I like to get something going. We're famous. And I say we, as I have a team. Like, people see me, but I have a team behind me. And we're famous at pioneering things and doing new things and being creative and making them look really simple. So much so that other people decide to copy and do them as well. And I get bored after a while doing the same thing over and over again if I can't keep raising the bar and making it a lot better. So I felt kind of done after 2018, but it sold out so much earlier even. The demand was there. I felt I owed it to you guys. So here's 2019. But you know what? It didn't follow my heart, because my heart really is, I got another idea. I got a few other ideas that I'm working on. And that's what I want to be doing. But I said yes to IFS 2019. And here you have it. It's the first time that it won't sell out before even the end of February, probably. As of now, I'm filming this on February 13th. We have about 45 seats left. That's it. So there's not a lot of seats left, but that's how many we have left. So we're not going to sell in advance. We got a great lineup. We have TCM fertility track. Second track, we have TCM pregnancy. Third track is all functional medicine. So we got some good talk. So we're going to go out on a high. And I'm not doing it in 2020. I did not sign another deal with the hotel or the location. So it's not happening. I don't have the hotels for you guys. I don't have the location. I'm going to be doing something different. So that's kind of how it all kind of started. And one thing I want to do better this year in 19 is, we have a lunch and learn, and we keep throwing money at it for the lunch, and the caterer keeps messing it up. It just doesn't turn out the way I want it. I really like, as you guys know, we have snacks, we have treats throughout the day. So there's every break. We do 90-minute lecture, 30-minute break, 90-minute lecture, 30-minute break, right from early morning 8 till like 6 at night. So we go hard, but we network a lot, and there's lots of yummy treats and snacks throughout the day and drinks. And the lunch and learn, I'm really planning, I want to go out with, this was the best lunch and learn ever. Because when we get our feedback, the feedback's amazing. The only complaints you guys ever have is the lunch and learn food. So that's the only thing I get a chance to fix. So I'm really excited about IFS 2019. If you've been thinking about doing a future one, I don't plan on that. I don't know if there'll be a future one in Vancouver. I know there's an IFS 2019 in Vancouver, and I know I already have other plans for what I'm thinking of doing in 2020 that's going to keep me pretty busy. So that's basically what I'm going to share. What we're going to do is the Ray Rubio lecture, as I mentioned, the keynote from 2017. We're going to put that in your IFS accounts for anybody who has or is registering for the 4 or 3 day pass. That will show up as a free lecture for you. So if you're interested in seeing Ray Rubio's keynote address, then check your account. And if you haven't registered, register, because we have room for 45 people as of February 13th. I do expect it to sell out, A, because it does every year, and B, because it is the last year. And because my heart wasn't totally in it at the beginning, as I mentioned, I can see registration kind of collapsed a bit. It wasn't as exciting before because my energy is distracted to do something else. Now that I know it's my last one, registration started to come in. We see it flowing, and I'm like motivated to make this the best one. Hey, I want to go out on a high, right? And I want those people that have been to past IFS, please come back because I want you there. Your energy was great. And if you have a mindset of success and wanting to meet and share with other colleagues, then please come to this. It's a real special group, and it's biased, it's self-selection. Why? Everybody that comes pretty much has to jump on a plane, have a passport, and stay in a hotel for 3 or 4 nights. But for the most part, only less than 10% of the people are from Vancouver. 75% of the people are from the United States. And then another 10% are from all over the world, and then about 5% from Canada. So it really is a destination conference. So people leave their practices, they leave their families, and it's kind of like a holiday for them. They're away from everything. They're not going home they're not going back to their homes every evening. And you can only do a 3 or 4 day pass. So they're there for the duration. And because of that, it just creates a great energy. Because we only can hold a max of 400, it's just the right size too to make that energy. People have asked, why don't you go bigger in the previous years? And it was because I like the energy. It's just the right number of people to create that kind of community and that buzz. And for those that have been there, they say it's the best conference they've been to. So this is your last chance to partake and take on some of that energy. And when you register inside your IFS account, so the website is IF Symposium, ifsymposium.com. Inside your account, we'll put up Ray Rubio's keynote address. Looking forward to seeing you in Vancouver from April 25th to 28th, 2019. We got Randine doing a lecture. Check out that for the pre-symposium. And we got Eileen doing Dr. Tan's balance method for fertility as well. Those are your 2 pre-symposium options. And then during the 3 days, we got 3 tracks. We got tons of lectures, hours and hours of talks. The maximum you can get pre-symposium is 6 hours and 20 during the 3 days. So it's a 26-hour event if you come for all 4 days. And I hope to see you in Vancouver. Take care, and thanks for listening.